Alright, for my Vanguard tanking unit, I have Yulia and Ashiel. This is for the main reason that they have 90 dark resistance. In this stage, they will deal dark damage. But the main thing that makes her really good is her low HP that causes her to take the hits instead of some other target. For my damage unit, I am using a Sato. This is because with her Great War equipment, she does neutral damage. This neutral damage can be buffed up by her own effect, but the primary reason is because when she does her ecstasy attack, she not only heals, but she does a ton of damage, and all this damage is neutral, so the boss cannot resist this. Also, because of her high evasion, if by any small chance that the primary tank dies, she is then considered a secondary tank as an evasion tank. For healers, you can use just about anybody. This one I am just using the newest one because she has the demi-human killer boost on her green, and when she does her big heal, all three species are then going to just die outright due to her species damage bonus. The main reason why I use her is because she will allow the unit to break the 9,999 damage cap, which means that, well, they're going to do a lot more damage than what they previously could. For the backline, I am using my Indaha. This is because when she does her attack with any of her gauntlets, I am using a Brilliance one, when she does her attack, she has a chance of multiplying her damage by about 3 or 4 times. And since she is a light damage unit, this will be resisted, but that doesn't exactly stop her damage due to her also having a chance to drop the target's light resistance. So this will work out in her favor, and she will more than likely always hit the cap damage. Alright, this unit I just brought along because I have no other unit I can really use, so you can bring any kind of unit you want. It's just that this stage is so easy. You can bring 2 of him and gamble and always get twice the amount of loot you would get for 1 run. I just have 1 of him, so I can't replace any other unit, but if you don't have him and you are struggling, or you just don't have him at all, you can bring a dealer unit who is a SSR. They bring 10% bonus gambling, but you can also just bring another damage unit. It can be anything besides this. He is quite literally dead weight in this battle. Alright, now what everybody is here for, it is the ability list. So, for the very important one and the necessary ones that we do need are the first one, Gravity Field. This is a sabotage ability that you can get from any event. This is a physical damage reduction sabotage by about 60%. That's right, 60. So, this will more than likely cut the target's damage in half. And when you're resisting a lot of that damage, this then becomes, well, your unit becomes immortal due to the target now just dealing 40% of their total damage. So they're hitting like a limp noodle. So you need to bring this along. You can bring this for a lot of stages, actually. The biggest stages you can bring this for is, for example, like the bear, the Infernal Bear Imperial stage. You can also bring this along for the Rose Queen, or not. You can also bring this along for the Pumpkin Girl, since the Pumpkin Girl does physical damage. This will also reduce her damage by 60%. Alright, for the other 2 passives I have here, we have Mind-Blowing Fear and Requiem for the Dead. Now, these 2 passives affect the enemy by reducing their physical and or magical damage output. This one you just kind of want, since most bosses will be doing significant damage, but because their values are so high and this reduces it by a percent amount, you're going to notice some pretty huge changes when you have these 2 active. Alright, Now, going on for the useful or the changeable ones. This one, you can change it or they're mostly useful. For me, the ones that I would change depending on your team would be the Exaltation of the Bloodline. This one, I have a physical team, so I am using this. But the magical team equivalent of this is Release the Magic from the Void Spirit Mage. So this one is mostly a boost to your team's damage. Since mine is physical, I need that. Along with Piercing Roar. This one you can use New Year's Rise, or you can just use, I forgot the mage equivalent of this, but this one is just to boost your team's damage output depending on the type of damage they deal. Alright, next one we have Acupuncture. Acupuncture is just a very quick ability that will clear off Paralyze. This depends on your team. Maybe you get paralyzed a lot, maybe you never get paralyzed. This will just immediately take it off. And since it's on a 5-second cooldown timer, this can be used pretty freely. You don't need this, but it's pretty helpful if you have problems with it. But you can also change this out for maybe another damage or a survival boost ability. Alright. And then continuing on, we have Black Demon's Dignity, Giant King's Pressure, and Intimidation of the Strong. So these three, they're mainly here to reduce the stats of the enemy, but you can have other passives as well. You can have it to where it buffs your own team, maybe it buffs yourself. It's just anything, really. This one, I have it to where it's affecting the enemy team, so that my team doesn't just get, well, wiped out in one hit, but in this stage, you won't ever have to worry about that. Alright, and then the fun one, the Quality of Life. Dice of Gambling. This one you need if you are bringing any type of gambler unit. You have a 50-50 chance of double or nothing. So, when you have this ability, but you have the units, depending on the rarity, they will add a flat chance to that chance of doubling your loot. So you can get better than just a 50-50 for double or nothing. So with a legendary high roller, he is a legendary quality, but if you have him, he increases your chance of double or nothing by 30% in your favor. So now it becomes 80% chance to double your loot, so 80-20. So the optimal way of getting this, or to use this, is to have two of them, so that you'll always get that 100% chance of doubling your loot. And since the stage is quite easy, you can do that really, really easily. It's just the problem of getting the unit. If you don't have them, there is the SSR quality ones. They give 10%. Their names are the Northern Dealer and the Demonic Dealer. The Northern Dealer, she is not exactly the best dealer because she does what the Legendary Gambler does, but more than likely it's going to hurt your team instead of helping them. Now, the Demonic Gambler, Demonic Dealer, he is more useful since he actually does attack the enemy, and he sabotages the enemy instead of actually attacking, or, my bad, buffing your own team like the Northern Dealer. Alright, so that should be all for the abilities, and if you can't clear it, please let me know in the comment section. If there's anything that you want to improve upon, please let me know, or just change it yourself, and good luck on this stage.